Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we're going to be playing a playthrough of Lockup, a role player tale, the solitary mode on moderate difficulty. So pull up a chair and let's see how we play. Okay, I've gone ahead and set up the game, and I've got all the decks shuffled. And over here we have the items that are available. We have the skeleton key, which is worth 12 reputation points, and it also has a magic valuable and a spot to hold one more resource. Normally I can only hold 5 resources, but if I get that I can hold 6. And then we have the silent steppers, which is worth 20 reputation points and has 2 magic valuables. And then the nunchucks is worth 17 with 2 shield valuables. And that might be one that I want to go for here in the first round. And the reason is because one of the goals for the game, the leader card, is heavily armed right here. And it says take this card if you have currently the most shield valuables, minimum of 2. Well, there's 2 on the nunchucks. So whoever gets that not only scores the 17 from the item, but they also immediately get to take that leader card, and if that person can keep it, me or the guards can keep that, they'll score the 6 points at the end of the game. Because in a 2-player game, which is what this is, even though it's a solo variant, this is considered a 2-player game. In a 2-player game, whoever has the leader goal at the end gets 6 points, and the other player doesn't get anything. And then the other goal, the end game goal, is pickpocket. At game end, each player scores 2 reputation for each item they have worth 12 reputation or less. And so right now on the item over here that's available, the only one available that's 12 or less is the skeleton key. So that might be something to look to get to help meet that end game goal. And both me and the guards can score 2 points for 12 or less. There's no competition for that one. So those are our goals for the game. I've got the goons set out on the board, and if you notice over here in the infirmary, there's not only a suspicion cube, but there's also a green scrap cube, and that's because that bandit drops that, and that's something that's kind of unique to bandits, is they'll drop a resource in addition to a suspicion cube sometimes. And so, but I've got the suspicion cubes out. I got the round marker where it's supposed to go. Okay, so before we get started, I need to go ahead and put the guard cards out. We'll put one at each one of the locations except the library, but we'll put one at each of the other 7 locations: the exercise yard, the sewers, the infirmary, the smithy, the commissary, the chow hall, and the cell block. And then there's 5 cards left over that will be drawn for the guards, and so they have a presence in every single location in the prison. And so that's kind of the thing to go with. I mean, they have a presence everywhere, but I only have 6 tokens. I can't go everywhere. So there's going to be a place that they're definitely going to win. And so that's something to keep in mind. But one of the things driving my strategy is going to be these in-game goals. And also, in the solitary mode, the guards will always craft something over here if they can. And so I want to be able to limit what they can craft, because they want to craft the highest valuable, the highest reputation item, which right now they want to get the silent steppers, which is 1 scrap, 2 potions, an iron, and a gold. And so, eventually they're going to get enough resources to do that, but I can either let them get it early, or I can try to get resources over here so they don't have enough to get it on the first round, and so they either have to craft something else or they have to reserve an item. And so that can, making them reserve an item can kind of slow them down, but it doesn't slow them down a whole lot. But that is, I think, a strategy of the game that I've found in my plays, is that instead of just letting them craft items every turn, either let them craft cheaper items that aren't as many points, or make them reserve one so it takes them 2 rounds to craft instead of 1. So there's a couple of things of strategy, but I've got the guard cards at each one of the locations. And so the guard always goes first in the solitary mode, and so it's going to be their turn. Now, on the guard turn, I get to flip 1 card face up that's out on the board, and then I'll draw a location card from this deck, and then place a guard face up into that location. So I do want to try to get these nunchucks as I can, if I can. So I'm going to want to put something here when it's my turn at the cell block. And but I need a scrap, 2 iron, and a gold. So that's going to be tough to get this turn. So I want to try to get as many resources as I can. And so the smithy is a good place to try to win, I think, because it has the 2 iron that I need. So I'm going to look and see what strength they have here. They have just their lookout. Okay, and their lookout is a strength of 0. So that's good information. Okay, let's see where they're going to place off duty, so we don't place a guard card. All right, that's good. So that's going to be, that means there one less card will come out this turn than what normally would, and that's going to help me in this round. So it's my turn. Now, another card can come out in the smithy. I think I can win that, so I'm going to hold off on that. But all I need is just 1 green scrap to be able to get this nunchucks item over here. And so I think what I'm just going to do, I can get it by going 2nd place here. So I'm just going to go here and put my number 2 guy over here at the sewers. And if I lose, that's fine. If I win, great. If I lose, that's fine, because I'll get a resource that I need. So that's my turn. All right, so it goes back to him. And now let's see. I do need something at the commissary as well. So let's see what they got at the commissary. And it is a 4. And so the highest, I'm pretty sure the highest number on one single card in their deck is a 5. So 4 is pretty high. It's pretty good presence there at the commissary. Let's see what they bring out. They got to put one at the chow hall. And this will go face up at the chow hall. So we've got a 1 and something else over here at the chow hall. All right, my turn. Let's see. I want to win at the smithy, and I'd like to win at the commissary if I could. And I need to have somebody at the cell block if I'm going to craft this turn as well. So I don't want to put too much out. The lookout's only a 0. The most they can get at the smithy is 5, because one of the things I've noticed is you're only really going to get 2 guard cards at one location. So the highest they can get, I think, at the smithy is a 5. So I'll go ahead and put my 3 and my 4 over there with my lookout so I don't get that suspicion. The lookout is the character with the eye, that has the eye. You see there at the top right corner. And that eye means that if I win, normally if I win at a location and there's suspicion cubes, I have to take it and put it on my board. And then, but if you have the lookout there, you don't take it and the next person takes it. And actually they wouldn't take it either because they have their lookout. But I don't want to take that suspicion cube. So I should win the smithy. All right, so it goes back to them. And I can reveal a card. I've got my enforcer, which right now is only worth 1 because the enforcers are worth however many power cubes you have here on your board. And the enforcer has the fist up in the top right corner. So they're only worth 1 and I got my 5. So let's see, what do I want to flip up? Well, I want to see what their strength is at the cell block. A 2. Okay, that's not bad. I should be able to win that. But even if I don't win it, they're going to try to craft this 20-point item because they always try to craft the highest reputation item. So I should be able to get the nunchucks without having to win there. All right, well, let's see where they put a guard. The infirmary. Okay. So we have a 0 at the infirmary. And so it's my turn. I'll just put my enforcer here at the cell block because I don't need to win that to be able to craft what I want to craft. And if it comes there and I don't have enough resources to craft, then I'll just come down to the library and get a tome card. I think that's what I'm going to do. So back to them. And it really doesn't matter. I'll just see what they're going to do at the exercise yard. A 3. And we'll draw and off duty again. So we don't put a card out. So now I know I'm going to win the places I've got it. I'm going to take my 5 and put it up here at the commissary. So I'll win the commissary because once the players put all of their tokens out in the solitary mode, the round ends and I have all 6 of my cubes out. So now it's time to go to the next phase, which is called the lights out phase. All right, so we'll start the exercise yard. They're obviously going to win, so they get a power token. They've got 2, and they'll keep the first player token. So we'll bring this guard back. And then down here at the sewers, they have a strength of 1 because it's a fist -1. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a fist -1. So that's a strength of 1. I have 2, so I actually win that. So I'm going to get 2 scrap. They'll get 1 scrap. And unfortunately, I'll get the suspicion cube. I wasn't expecting to get that, but that's what happens. Now, suspicion, at some points in the game, you're going to have what's called raids. When all these cubes are gone, if you're supposed to place a cube in a location and you can't, then a raid happens. And basically, in a solitary mode, whichever one of these boards has the most cubes, suspicion cubes on them, that player loses 6 points. And so right now I have the most, and if there was going to be a raid, I would lose 6 points. So I don't want to have more suspicion cubes on my board than what the guards do. But anyway, so I got my 2 scraps, he got his 1, so we both got something. So we'll return. Okay, the infirmary, he's definitely won this. And so he's going to get the green cube, and he'll get a suspicion cube because he doesn't have a lookout here. So they won that, and they get the 2 blue potions. So he picked up 3 resources there. All right, at the smithy, I win with 7. So I get 2 iron, which are the gray. And then I have my lookout, and he has his lookout, so nobody gets that suspicion. But because he didn't win, he'll go to down to the library here. Okay, so we'll move on to the commissary. I have 4, I have 5, he has 4. So I can get a resource of my choice, and that's going to be a gold because that's what I need to craft these nunchucks. So I'm going to get a gold, and if they come in second place in the commissary, they don't get anything, so he loses. So he'll come down here to the library, and then at the chow hall, he's going to win the chow hall, and at the chow hall, they're going to take the 2 goons that have the most suspicion cubes that they drop that's on their card. And if there's a tie, which there is, they get the ones closest to the sewers. Well, the hobgoblin, the bandit, and the demon all have 1 suspicion cube on their card, and they're the only ones. So he'll take a hobgoblin, and he'll take a bandit. Okay? And so right now that hobgoblin is going to be worth 2. Because the hobgoblin scores 1 reputation for each power you have, and the bandit will be worth 3 at the end. Okay, so he won that, so these guards will come back. And then at the cell block, he will win because he has 2 to my 1. So he's going to try to craft, let's see, he's got 2 green and 2 blue, so he cannot craft the silent steppers. Because he doesn't have the gold. He can't craft the nunchucks. He doesn't have the gold. He can't craft any of these because he doesn't have gold. So instead what he'll do is he'll reserve the highest one, which is the silent steppers. And he'll reserve those, and he does not have to pay 1 resource to reserve that. And so so he'll come back, and then it comes to me. And I'm going to craft, and I am going to craft these nunchucks for 1 green, 2 silver and a gold, or 2 iron and a gold. So I get this. I immediately score the 17 points. So I'm going to go from 10 to 27. And because it has the 2 shield valuables, I met the leader goal. So I get that for now. And I'll keep that for the rest of the game unless he can get 3 shield valuables before I can get any more. So, so I'll come back, and then he does have some presents at the library. They don't draw a tomb. Instead, they get a point, so he'll go up to 11. All right, so that's not bad. I start off with a lead. Okay, so that's the end of round 1. So we'll put the items back out in the display over here. And then the goon over here gets discarded. And if there's ever a goon in the end of the round over here, he gets discarded out of the game. Then all the other ones move over as far as they can. So that cultist will go to the end. The demon will go. And then we'll fill back up. There'll be a dwarf. Another dwarf. Okay, and then we put out the suspicion cubes. So this dwarf will drop 1. The other dwarf will drop 1 out here. The demon will drop 1. and that's it. And so then I'll have to shuffle up the guard and the location cards. I'll do that in a minute. And then we'll move to round 2. And I forgot that when he acquired the Hobgoblin, and it comes, he gets a blue resource, a potion. So I'll give him that now. Okay, so we're starting round 2. And before you go any further, you may be wondering why I got to go up to 27 when my nunchucks only has 17 points. And that's because you start on the 10 space. And so it's actually 27 to 11 right now. I don't really know why necessarily. I guess because if you don't score any points, you can lose points and you can't go past 0. So I guess you start at 10 so that no one can drop below 0 at the beginning of the game. But anyway, you start out at 10. Okay, so he's got the first player marker. So he'll go first again, and I get to reveal a card on his turn before he places out another guard. And this homing grapple that came out, it's 18, and it looks good because not only is it 18 points, but it also has a shield valuable for the leader goal. So it can help me with that. Of course, I've already got that leader goal. It would be nice to try to get rid of this suspicion cube with a chameleon amulet, and then I can do other things besides just craft. And I may do that. I may actually just try to get the chameleon amulet this time. So, of course, and if I can keep him from getting a gold, he won't be able to craft anything this turn, at least not that's out. So I think the commissary is something I want to go for. So let's see what he's got there. A 4 again, okay, and he will place a guard in the infirmary. So he's got a 1 there. Okay, my turn. And again, if he crafts anything, it'll be the most valuable thing that he can. And so as long as I win the commissary, though, he won't be able to craft anything on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my 2 at the cell block because I just need to be able to place there to craft my amulet. So that's what I'm going to do. Put my 2 there. Okay, back to him. All right, let's see. It would be nice to try to get some goons if I could, at least 1, just to get some points. I don't really know if there's anything real great. Or actually, you know what? Get the first player token might be good. Let's see what's at the exercise yard. Okay, he just has his enforcer there. Right now, his enforcer is worth 2. So that's good. So he'll put a guard off duty. He won't put one out at all. So that's been going my way. All right. Well, if I do end up getting a goon, I need to at least get a resource I can spend. So for now, I think I'll put my enforcer, which is only a 1, over at the sewer so I can get at least a resource and use it for something maybe to go along with this other scrap. So I'll do that. So it goes back to his turn. And let's see what's at the chow hall. A 2 and a lookout. Okay. So he's only got a presence of 2 there, and he'll put another card at the commissary, which will be a 2. So he's going to have a strength of 6 at the commissary. So now I know what I need to do to win the commissary. And I'm going to go ahead and go in there. I'm actually going to go in. I'm going to put my lookout there so I don't get that suspicion. He won't either, but I don't want to get it. Yeah, and I'll put my 4 and my 3. I'll put my 4, my 3, my lookout here at the commissary so I can be sure to win that one. Okay, so I got 1 token left, so it'll go back to his turn. And it really doesn't matter. Let's just see what he's going to do at the cell block. Oh, if he doesn't put in 1 at the cell block, then I'm going to win that. I'll get to go first. And let's see where he goes. To the sewers. He'll put a guard in the sewers. A lookout there. So probably won't win the sewers, but that's okay. And I'm going to take my 5, and I'm going to put it in the exercise yard so I can get the first player token and some power to strengthen up my enforcer. So that's going to be all the placement. Now we'll go into the lights out phase. Okay, we'll start the exercise yard. I've won it. So I get a power cube. And I get the first player token, which also breaks ties. Not only do I get to go first, but it breaks ties. And there are a lot of ties in the game. So I won, but they lost. So this guy will go down to the library. Now to the sewers. I have 2, and he only has 1. And my enforcer now is worth 2 because I have 2 power cubes, and they do get used right away. So I actually win that. I get 2 scraps, and he gets 1. So we both got something. So we'll both return to our spots, and then he's going to win the infirmary with a 6, so he'll get 2 blue and the suspicion token. And these guards, they win, so these guards will come back. And then he's going to win the smithy as well. It's an enforcer, so he'll get 2 iron. And he'll get the 2 suspicion cubes because he doesn't have a lookout there. And he wins that, so that guard will come back. Now we'll go to the commissary. I have 7, and he has 6. Both of us have a lookout, so no one's going to get a suspicion cube, but I'm going to get... well, I needed a blue potion. I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to be able to craft anything. Well, I could, no, I can get a potion if I get this dwarf over here. But I didn't put anybody at the chow hall, so I messed up. But I'm going to get a gold anyway. Maybe I can craft that on another turn. So I messed up there. But that's okay. Oh well. Alright, so we'll come back. He doesn't win anything, so he comes down here. And then he does win at the chow hall. And so he gets to take 2 goons. Let's see, he'll take this dwarf because it has a thing, and that'll give him a blue potion because that was on the dwarf's card. And then he'll take this other dwarf. So he's got 2 dwarfs, and that'll give him an iron because there was an iron on that dwarf that he got. Okay, so he won that one. And then I win the cell block, but I can't craft anything because I don't have any potions. I could reserve something. And I think I will. I think I'll just spend a green scrap to reserve this homing grapple so that maybe later in the game I can get the 18 points and the this valuable here to help make sure I keep the leader. But it's worth 18 points. I'll reserve that. And so he's going to craft, but he doesn't, I don't think he can craft. Nope, he can't craft anything. So he's going to reserve the skeleton key because it's the highest that's out there. All right, so we both got something. And then he'll get a point because he's in the library. He'll go up to 12. And these guys will come back. Okay, so that's the end of the round. We don't have a raid to do because there's plenty of cubes in the supply over here. So we'll fill the item deck back up. And this goon will go away. This demon will move. This hobgoblin will move. We'll fill back up. Another dwarf. A cultist. And a rat man. And let's see. We're dropping 1 at the sewer. 2 cubes at the infirmary. 2 cubes here at the smithy. And 1 over here in the chow hall. Okay, so we have just enough. So there will be a raid at the end of round 3. And he's got the most suspicion, so that's good for me. But we'll go ahead and move the marker to round 3. And I'll shuffle up the decks off camera, and then we'll move into round 3. Okay, we're ready to start round 3. And so we have the Spell Slinger for an item. It's worth 10. Stars of Throwing worth 7. The Chameleon Amulet still out here worth 8. So all of those would meet the endgame goal. And I would like to get the Stars of Throwing because it'll allow me to move a Suspicion Cube over to the guards just to make sure I don't take that because there's going to be a raid. It's also a shield valuable to help me maintain my lead on that. So that, and it's 7 points. So I kind of would like to get that, but I also want to craft the item I reserved. And it needs a scrap, a gold, a potion, and an iron. So I need to get some iron. And I'm going to go first. So I don't get to turn over. That's one of the disadvantages of going first is I don't get to turn over a card of theirs at the beginning of the round. So it isn't real desperate for me to craft right now. I do want to get something from the Chow Hall, because I'd like to get this cultist over here that gives me a gold and scores 1 for each item I have, and I want to craft some items. So we'll see what happens, but I would like to get the smithy, but I don't want to put anything over there just yet. And I think I do want to craft, so I will go ahead and put my 2 here at the cell block. It doesn't matter. He's going to be able to craft something this turn because he's got the resources to get that spell slinger for 10. So he's not going to get one of the 2 things I really want. So I'll just do that. So it's going to be his turn. So I do get to turn something over. I'll turn his card over at the smithy. He just has his enforcer there. So that's worth 2 right now. And he'll place a guard at the commissary. All right. So he's going to have a strength of 1 there. It's a fist -1. So that means he has 2 power cubes. So he has a strength of 1 at the commissary for sure. So he'd probably get up to a strength of about 6 there. So if I want to go to the commissary to stop him from getting a gold, I can. And that may be something to do because I'm pretty sure the items he reserved needed gold. And he doesn't have any gold. So I may go there on my turn. It's my turn right now. So let's see. The most he can get is 6 there. But I really need to win at the smithy. Let's see. I'm going to put my enforcer and my... So I'm going to put my 4. No, I'm going to put my 4, my lookout, and my 3 at the commissary. So I'll win that and I won't get the suspicion cube. So that'll give me 7. I should be able to win that. So it goes over to his turn. Let's see. Let's see what he's doing in the exercise yard. 2 and a lookout. So that'd be easy to win. And he's going to place a guard at the Chow Hall. And he's going to have a 1 at the Chow Hall. And I don't want to, and I do want to remember, I do want to get that cultist, although now I'm going to win the commissary, I can get a gold from there. So that would be good. And I also need a potion, though, to be able to craft the item I reserved. Of course, I can craft the Star of Throwing as long as I win the smithy. All right, so it's back to my turn. And I just have to decide if I want the Chow Hall more or the smithy. I want to win the smithy. So I'm going to put a 5 here and hope that's good enough to win. And so, but if I do that, I'll take 2 suspicion cubes, but that's okay. I think he'll still get hurt on the raid. So I'll just do that. I'll put a 5. Now it's his turn. And it really doesn't matter. Let's see what he's doing in the infirmary. He just has a lookout. So he won't take those suspicion cubes. And he's going to place a guard. No, he isn't going to place any guard. So I can actually go to the exercise yard and keep the first player token, but I wouldn't be able to get... if I go to the exercise yard, I won't be able to get the cultist that I wanted. And he'll actually get it. And he would be able to craft things. He'll be getting a gold. I'm going to put my enforcer here and just see what happens. Maybe I'll have a chance to win to get that cultist. You know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'll just let him get what he needs. I'm going to keep the first player token. I will win the exercise yard because he has 2 and my enforcer's 2, so I get another power token. And I keep the first player marker. So he'll go down the library because he loses, and I'll come back here. And then in the sewer, he just has a lookout. He won't take that suspicion, but he will take 2 green. scraps. So that guard will come back. And then he'll get 2 blue from the infirmary. And he won't take that suspicion because it was his lookout there. And then at the smithy, I will win the smithy, so I'll get 2 iron. But I also get those 2 suspicion cubes. And so I win and he loses, so his enforcer will come down here to the library. And then in the commissary, I have 7 and he has 5. Oh no, he has 4. His enforcer is a -1, so he has 1 there. So he has 4, I have 7. And so I will get to choose what I want, and I'll take a gold. No, I will take a potion. I will take a potion. I already had a gold. So that, I don't know why I was thinking I was going to get a gold from there. I could, but I'm just going to take the potion. And so I don't take that suspicion cube because I have a lookout. He doesn't have a lookout, so he will take that suspicion cube. And since he doesn't get anything, if he comes a second at the commissary, he'll come down to the library. I'll bring my guys back. All right, so down at the chow hall, it doesn't matter how much he has because he's going to win. He will win. So he's going to take the Rat Man, which will allow him to remove a suspicion token, put it back in the supply, and then he will also take this cultist. He's getting a lot of goons, and that gives him a gold because that's on her card. And so he wins that, so he'll bring his guards back. All right, and so his Rat Man let him return a suspicion cube back to the supply. That's what that little cube with the X next to it in the top left means. And then the cultist gave him a gold. And I put that on his board. Okay, and that was at the chow hall, so he'll take the suspicion cube because it was there at the chow hall and he didn't have his lookout there. And then at the cell block, I will win again with my 2. I'm going to win, so I get to go first. So I can craft my stars of throwing if I want, and then move a suspicion cube over to him, or I can craft my homing grapple. I'm going to hold off on the homing grapple. I am going to go ahead and get that stars of throwing. Pay 2 iron to get it. And it's going to allow me to move a suspicion cube over to him, because that's what the icon in the top left with the cube and that little X with the arrow pointing over, that's what that means. So I moved that over to him. He now has 6 and I have 2. It also gave me another shield valuable to help me keep that leader card. Okay, and so he's at the cell block and he can craft, but I'm pretty sure he can craft. He can craft his boots here that he has reserved. So he's going to do that. It's a gold, an iron, 2 potions, and a scrap that he'll return over here. And that doesn't give him any, it does give him 2 magic valuables, which won't help him too much, but it gives him 20 points. So he goes from 12 to 32. So just like that, he'll now take the lead. Oh, and I forgot to give myself my 7 points. So actually, I'll be in the lead. I go from 27 to 34. But I only have a 2-point lead. Okay? And so that guard will come back. He does have presence in the library, so he'll get a point for that. And that's the end of the round. So we'll put out items. And then we'll put out new goons. This demon will go away. The hobgoblin will move over. The dwarf. Put out new goons. Rat Man comes out. Another dwarf. And another rat man. And so we'll drop cubes. We have, let's see, The dwarf is supposed to drop 2, but there's only 1. So we will have a raid. And the guards have the most suspicion, so they're going to lose 6 points. Going from 33 down to 27. Now, when the guards lose the raid and have to lose the points, they return all of their suspicion cubes to the supply. But I keep mine. That's one of the differences from the normal game. Now, if I were to lose the 6 points, all the cubes go back to the middle. So they turn their cubes back, and then now you return all the cubes from even the locations back in, just like in the normal raid in a normal game. And if you just read the raid rules under the solitary variant, it doesn't tell you to remove the cubes from the locations and put them back in the supply after the raid, but it is in the rules. It's in the regular rules. And so all the cubes go back into the middle, except in the case when the guards are the ones that lose the points. They'll turn their cubes back in, but I have to keep my 2. So I hope that makes sense. But now, the raid's over, the cubes back in the middle. Now we got to put the cubes back out again where they belong. And that dwarf had 2. And the hobgoblin didn't have any. So just those 2 that go into the commissary there. All right. And so we'll move to round 4. Okay, so we're ready to start round 4, and I have the first player marker, so I'll go first. And I've already got the resources I need to craft this chameleon amulet over here, which will give me 8 points, and will also give me 2 points for the end-game goal because it's less than 12. And it also lets me return a cube to the supply to help out with the raid. So I want to craft that, but I know I don't need to win here because there are more valuable items that he'll want to craft. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my 2 at the cell block again. I just need to be able to place there so I can do something. And so now on his turn, I would like to win at the commissary to keep him from getting a gold, because I know he can craft the spell slinger, but he can also craft stuff with gold that may be more valuable. But it would be nice to win at the commissary, but I think more than anything, I want to win at the chow hall because I need to get some goons to help score points too. Let me see what is here. All right, an enforcer, which is worth 2 for him. And he will put a guard at the commissary. Okay, so the commissary is going to have a lookout, which means no matter what, he won't be taking those 2 suspicion cubes. So that's good to know. So it's back to me. So let's see. It would be nice to be able to get 2 goons if I could. So I'd like to win to get some more resources. I'm going to use my gold and my potion. Oh, by the way, at the end of the round, you can have as many resources throughout the round as you want. But at the end of the round, if you have more than 5 as a player, you have to discard resources down to 5. I haven't had that problem because I haven't had 5 resources, but that's for the players. But the guards they have unlimited resources. They're not kept by that. So I want to use these 2 to craft the amulet, I think. Of course, again, I could craft my homing grapple. At some point, I would like to do that for 18. But there are still a couple rounds in the game. So I'm going to do the amulet with those 2. So if I get 2 more resources and win the chow hall, I can get 2 of the goons. And there's really nothing real exciting out there, actually. Maybe I should go for crafting this card. I'll put my enforcer and my 3 here at the chow hall. And if I don't win, I'll just come down to the library and get a tome, I think. But I'll do that. So that's going to be 6 presents there. Okay, so that goes over to his turn. And let's see what's at the smithy. What does he have here? A 1. Okay. And he's going to bring out a guard to the sewers, which will be a 3. He'll bring a 3 out, okay? So my turn. Smithy, probably I'll be able to win. I don't see his 5, though. And once you place a token in a location, you can't place tokens in there anymore unless you have a tome card that lets you do it. There is one that lets you do that, but I don't have it. So I can't go back into the cell block or the chow hall. I would like to keep the first player token if I could, but I really want to win the Smithy. And if I put my last 3 tokens out there, I'll end the round and I will win the chow hall, the Smithy, and I can do what I want to do. So I'm going to do that, I think. I'm just going to go ahead. Maybe it's too much, but I'm going to go ahead and put my remaining guys out here at the Smithy so that I can win the Smithy and get the 2 that I need. If I want to craft this, I can. Or I can craft that and get 2 goons. So I got some options, and I'll win all the places I want to win. So that's what I'm going to do. So now we're already at the lights out phase. Unfortunately, the exercise yard, he is going to win that. So he'll get a power cube, and he'll get the first player token back. Okay, and so he won that. So he'll come back here. And at the sewers, he's going to win that as well. He's got a presence of 5 there. He'll get 2 green cubes. And these guys will come back. And then he'll win at the infirmary and get 2 blue. And so he won that. He'll come back. And then at the Smithy, I win there. So I'll get 2 iron. So I have 6. But again, you can have more than 5 during the round. It's just at the end of the round, you got to go down to 5 if you have more than 5. So he loses, he'll come to the library, and these guys will come back. And then at the commissary, he's going to win the commissary with 2 lookouts. He'll get the resource of his choice, and how that works is if he'll get what he doesn't have, and in this case, it's gold. And if he has one of everything, he'll get the he'll get whatever he has the least of. So he gets a gold because he didn't have any gold. But if he has some of everything, then and there's a tie, then he gets it's based on rarity. You can look it up in the rules, but he wins that, but he doesn't take those suspicion cubes. So these guards will come back, and then I win at the chow hall, so I can spend 4 to get 2 goons. Or I can spend 1 to just get 1 goon, and I might do that actually. I think I will. I'll spend a scrap, just 1 scrap, and I think I'm going to use it to get this hobgoblin. Because I have 3 power, that'll give me 3 points, and when I get him, I get a scrap. So I basically get him without having to spend anything. And if they come in second, they don't take anything at the chow hall. So he'll come down here to the library. Okay. And then at the cell block, I win again. So I have the choice to craft whatever I want. I'm going to craft what I had reserved. So that's going to be a gold, a scrap, a potion, and an iron. So 34 to 52. Okay, and then he'll craft something, and I think he can craft what he has reserved. Let's see, it's worth 12. And there's something better out there. He's always going to craft whatever's the best, and that is this lucky coin. It's worth 15. He does have it. He has 2 iron and a gold, so he'll craft that. He'll get the lucky coin, and that's going to give him a power token and 15 points. So he'll go from 27 to 42. Okay? And so he got something, he'll come back here. And then he does have a presence in the library, so he'll score another point. Those guards will come back. All right, at the end of the round, we will put out another item. We'll move the goons over. There's nothing to discard, so we'll move him over. And fill in over here. And then we'll drop suspicion cubes, 1 in the sewers. And 2 over here in the chow hall. And I think that's it. And then we'll move to round 5. Okay, started round 5, and he has the first player token, so he's going to go first. And I do want to try to craft this turn, and there's a couple of things. I got plenty of things I can craft, so all I got to do is just play stuff I want to craft. I want to try to get some resources so that I can get some more goons. I feel like I need to get more goons before I do anything else. I only have a couple of turns to do that. So he goes first, and I really would like to get something at the commissary. So let's see what's at the commissary here. A 1. I can easily win that. I want to use my lookout because one of the reasons why I want to get goons is I want to get some of these goons that'll let me get rid of these suspicion tokens. Either get rid of them or give them to him. And that dwarf over there can let me put one over there on him. So I kind of want to do that. And if I can get this amulet, it'll let me get rid of my the other suspicion token. So I try to get that. But anyway, he has a 1 up there at the commissary, and he'll bring out and put 1 in the sewers. So that's a 2. Okay, so it's my turn. And I should be able to win the commissary with at least 6. And I do want to win it. So I'm going to put my enforcer, which is a 3. And then I'm going to put my 3 there for 6. And then I'm going to put my lookout there so that I don't get the suspicion cubes. So I should be able to win that one. Okay, back to him. Let's see. I'm going to need potions for the chameleon amulet. So let's see what's at the infirmary. A lookout. Okay. And he'll put a guard. Oh, no guard. He won't place a guard. So that's good. I might be able to win that with a 2. It's my turn. And like I said, I can always craft that amulet next turn if I need to. But I don't want to... Oh, the problem going to the chow hall is the 2 suspicion tokens there. So maybe I'll wait on that. Maybe I'll wait on the chow hall so I can put a lookout there hopefully next turn. You know what? I don't want to get those suspicion tokens. All right, I'll go to the infirmary with my 5. And let's see what's at the exercise yard. It is a 4. Okay. So he is going to... All right, so he's got a 4 at the exercise yard, and he's going to bring out... Oh, off duty. He's not going to put anything out again. So in order for me to get the first player token, I'd have to put the rest, my last 2 guys there, which means I won't be getting goons or crafting. And I want to do one or the other. So I may just let him win the exercise yard and just hope my 5 is good enough over there at the infirmary. But to make sure that I have... Oh, I could always get the spell slinger if I get a potion, and I could get the potion at the commissary if I need to. I don't have to get gold. So let's just go to the sewers and get... you know what? I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to come to the chow hall with my 2. And I'll either spend 2 to get a goon, or I'll... No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go to the sewers with him and get a scrap. So that's what I'm going to do. His turn. Let's just see what's at the cell block. Not that it really matters. It's a 2. He'll bring out something to the exercise yard. So it was a good thing I didn't go there because I wouldn't have won it. Probably wouldn't have won it with a. I wouldn't have been able to win it. He has 7. I only had 6. So the exercise yard. So I will win the infirmary, and I'll put my 4 at the cell block, and I'll just go ahead and win that and go ahead and craft this turn. So that's the round. Okay, so I got lucky drawing 2 off-duty cards that turn. So let's exercise yard. He'll get a power token, and that's making his hobgoblin worth 5 points now, and he'll keep the first player marker. And then down here at the sewers, he's going to win that. Yep, he's got 3, but he has his lookout, so that means I get the suspicion. And he gets 2 green. I get 1 green. And so he won something, and I won something and the suspicion. That was unfortunate. Now I've got 3 to his 0. All right, and then at the infirmary, I will win the infirmary, so I'll get 2 blue cubes. All right, bringing that back, and the lookout won't get anything, so he'll come down to the library. He's going to win the smithy, so he's going to get 2 iron. Okay, and that'll put him, he won, so I'll put him back. And then over there at the commissary, I have 6. He has 1, but I have my lookout. So he'll get the 2 suspicion cubes. That's good. And I will get a resource of my choice. So I actually can craft anything, pretty much anything I want, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and get gold with that. So I win, bring my guys back. And his will go down to the library because he lost. And then at the chow hall, he just has the enforcer. So he's going to take 2 goons. And let's see. He'll take this dwarf because it has 2. And that lets him move a suspicion token to me. So I have 4, he has 1. That is not what I wanted to have happen. And that's just 1. He'll take another one, which will be the hobgoblins. The only other one with a suspicion cube. So now he's got 2 hobgoblins. And that gives him an iron. That hobgoblin has an iron on his. And so he's got a lot of goons. He's going to score 10 points on the hobgoblins. It's kind of scary. But he won when the enforcer was all he had there. He will get these 2 cubes. And so that's good. And then I win at the cell block. So I might want to try to score as many points as I can here, actually. And that means, actually, even though I would like, if I get the chameleon amulet, I can remove a suspicion cube, and that would tie me with him. But I can get that next time. I think I want to go ahead and get the spell slinger. And I will. So I'm going to buy this spell slinger and get me another power cube because it will bring me up, make my hobgoblin better. So I'm going to get this spell slinger, pay a scrap, a potion, and an iron. Let's see, a green, blue, and gray. Yep. Okay. And so that will give me a power cube. Bring me up to 4. And it will give me 10 points. So I'll go from 52 to 62. All right, so that's that. And then he'll craft. He cannot craft his reserved item, I don't think. Nope, he has a gold. He needs a gold and he doesn't have it. He can craft the spell supplies though, because it has to be 3 resources. Each one has to be different, and he does. He has a green, a blue, and a gray. So he will craft that and run out of room here. And so that gives him 10 points, brings him from 43 to 53. All right, so he'll come back, and he does have presence at the library, so he'll get a point up to 54. Okay. So we'll put items back out. A dream catcher comes out. A transmutation gem, which this gem lets you exchange resources if we want to do that. And it's 12. Oh, the dream catcher is a 17. Okay, and this guy comes back. These guys come back, and then we'll move the goons over and replenish. A flare comes out, and a cultist comes out. That would be good to get me some points off of my items. All right, let's put cubes out. One for where the flare is, and that's it. One suspicion cube goes out into the game where the flare is, and that's it. All right, so we'll move to round 6. Okay, well, this is the start of the last round of the game. There will be a raid at the end of this game, so right now I'm going to be taking the 6-point hit. So I want to try to figure out a way to give him more suspicion than me, but also I've noticed over here this dream catcher that's worth 17. That's the most valuable item that's available, including the one that he has in reserve, and he can craft it. So I'm going to want to have to try to win the cell block so I can craft that, and I got to get the resources for it. I need 1 scrap, 1 potion, and 1 iron for that. Now, the flare and the cultist both have a potion, so I can get my potion there. And I can come in second place to get the scrap I need at the sewers. So that means that I either need to win at the commissary or the smithy. And I know that if he doesn't have any gold, so I'd like to try to keep him from getting gold. So I think I'm going to try to win the commissary for sure, and I want to win the cell block. He's first player, so I'm going to see what's at the commissary. Just a lookout. All right. And he'll place a guard at the commissary, so that's good. I'm going to know right away what I need to do to win there. A 2 and a lookout. So my enforcer is worth 4. I don't want to put him there. I'm going to put my 3 guy there. So that means I'll ensure a win at the commissary. So that worked out great. All right, goes back to his turn. And let's see what's at the cell block, because I want to win there. A 1. Okay, and so he'll put a guard out at the infirmary. So he has a presence of at least 2 at the infirmary and a 1 over here at the cell block. And it would be nice to get that first player token back from him too, if I could, because that's worth 2 points. And I've only got an 8-point lead right now. I got an 8-point lead, and he's gonna looks like he's got a lot of points with his goons. His hobgoblins alone are gonna give him 10 points, and then he's got his dwarfs. They're gonna give him 7. So he's gonna get a lot of points from that. And it looks like I'm gonna win the leader goal though. But anyway. So I'd like to win the Chow Hall just to get more goons, and also one of them can give me a potion. Well, they can give me a potion, but I don't need the potion. Yeah, I need 1 potion. So, but I've got to win at the cell block, and I do need another scrap. So I'll put my 2 over here at the sewers, so I can be sure to get a scrap. So I'll do that. So on his turn. Let's see what's at the Chow Hall. A 3. Okay. And he's going to place a guard out. Oh, he's not going to place a guard. So he's only got 3 presents at the Chow Hall and only 1 at the cell block. Okay. And so I can get the potion from the commissary. I will win that. So I've got enough. Oh, I need to get to win at the smithy also, or else I won't be able to craft it. So I could use the commissary also. Yeah, I'm gonna have to win at the Chow Hall so I can get that other potion, and then the commissary I can get the iron that I need if I need to, so I don't have to worry about the smithy. So I need to figure out a way to win that Chow Hall and to win the cell block, and that's probably what I'm going to do. And I do have some strength. Let's put my 4 here at the cell block. And along with it, I will put my... I'm going to go ahead. I've got to win at the cell block. I know I've got to win at the cell block. So I'm going to put 8 presents there. So it'll be his turn. And it really doesn't matter. Let's just see what's at the smithy. A 5. Good. So a 5 won't come out. Let's see what does come out. He's going to put more presents at the smithy, which is going to be his 1. So that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 5 and my lookout over here so that I can end the round and I can be sure to win the chow hall. So that's it. Now it's for the lights out phase. Exercise yard. It's going to be him. He's going to win. He's going to get another power token, make his hobgoblins even better. Keep the first player token, unfortunately, so that's 2 points, but can't win everything. I can't win every spot. Then at the sewers, he has his enforcer, which is a 6, so he's going to win that for 2 green, 2 scraps, and I'm going to get 1 scrap. That's okay. I only needed 1. So he won something, and I won something. And then at the infirmary, he's going to win at the infirmary, and he's going to get 2 blue. And his lookouts are there, so he won't get that suspicion. Okay, and at the smithy, he will win that, so it's 2 iron. Okay, so he'll come back. And then at the commissary, I have 3, and he only has 2, so I win. And let's see, I might have to change my mind when I get to the items, depending on how many suspicion cubes I end up with. But for now, I've got what I need to craft other stuff. I'm going to take an iron from the commissary, so I win that. He doesn't, so he'll come down here to the library with his 2 guys. And then at the chow hall, I win the chow hall. So I can spend 4 resources, which I'm not going to do, but I can spend 1 resource to get a goon. And, well, I just realized the only way I can get rid of... So I can either take... I can take 2 Ratmen. If I only take 1 Ratman, I'm going to lose 3 points. Because 1 Ratman is worth -3 at the end of the game. But they're the only ones out on the board. Oh, I need to get another potion. I was going to take a cultist so that I could get another potion to draft this Dreamcatcher. But if I don't get rid of my suspicion cube, I'm going to lose 6 points. So that changes everything. I may have to craft the Chameleon Amulet anyway, but then he'll craft the 17-point Dreamcatcher. I may just have to take it and take the 6-point loss on the raid. Oh. I mean, I could get 2 Ratmen and then reserve the Dreamcatcher. I don't know why I couldn't do that. I don't think it's cheating. There's nothing in the rules that says you can't. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend 4 resources to get 2 goons. I'm going to get 2 Ratmen. The 2 Ratmen that are out. And that'll let me return 2 cubes to the supply. So now he has the most suspicion. All right, so I won something there. He comes back to the library. Now the cell block, I can't craft anything, but I'm pretty sure I can pay the resource to reserve that Dreamcatcher. I don't know why I couldn't, So that's what I'm going to do so that he can't craft that. It's not going to help me, but he won't be able to do it. So I get that. Now, I don't think that's wrong that I can reserve that on the last turn to keep him from crafting that 17-point thing. If it is, let me know, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know why I wouldn't be allowed to do that, but he is going to craft something. Well, let's see. Transmutation gem, he doesn't have any gold. He needs gold for anything, and he can't craft anything. So he'll just reserve. We'll just do it. He'll just reserve this item. I'll just place it here, but he can't do anything with it. So he got something. He'll come back. He does have presence in the library. They're bringing him up to 55. All right, and so that's the end of round 6. We'll do one final raid. He has 3 suspicion. I have 2 suspicion, so he's going to lose 6 points. He'll go from 55 to 49. And then we'll return all the cubes, but it doesn't matter because that's the end of the game. Now we're going to go score. Okay, so that's the end of the game. It's time for final scoring. You see who wins. And I just went back to make sure that all the scoring is correct, and I think it is correct. I'm at 62. He's at 49. So I have currently have a 13-point lead. But that doesn't mean I'm going to win because there's still more scoring to do. So the first thing you do is score the leader goal, and I do have it. And I have it, so in the 2-player game, I get 6, he gets nothing, so I'll go from 62 to 68. Okay, and now it's time for the end game goal scoring. And the pickpocket, we both can score off of that. So I'll just do mine first. I'll do all my scoring first, and I'll do his scoring. So it's 2 points for each item that you have worth 12 or less. So I have 2 items, so that's 4 points for me. So I'll go from 68 to 72. And then, let's see, then I go to the goon cards. I get 4 points for my hobgoblin, going from 72 to 76. Because the hobgoblin is score 1 for each power you have, and I have 4 power. And then my rat man, it's like a set collection one. And I have 2 rat men right here. And so 2 rat men is only worth 1 point. So I'll go up to 77 from 76 to 77. So I scored my goons. Resources, you get, I don't have any resources. I won't score. I don't have any tome cards. And I don't have the first player marker. So that's scoring for me. Okay, so his scoring, he does not get the leader goal because I got that. End game goal, he has 1 item that is worth 12 or less, and that is the spell supplies here. So he gets 2 points for that, bringing him from 49 to 51. And then goon cards, this is where he's going to score a lot of points. I think he has enough to catch up to me, but we'll see. He has 2 hobgoblins. He gets 1 point they give him 1 point for each power cube. He has 6 power cubes, so he's going to get 12 points just off the hobgoblin. So it's going to bring him from 51 to 63. And then the bandit will give him 3 points, bringing him up to 66. He has 3 dwarfs, so that's 7. And then he has a rat man, but 1 rat man is -3. And then he gets his cultist gives him 1 point for each item he has, so that's 3. Bringing him up to 73. And he's 4 points behind me, but he has scored all of his goons. Now resources, he doesn't get a point for each of the scrap, potion, and iron resources, but he does get 2 for each gold, but he doesn't have any gold. He's already scored his tome cards. He does have the first player marker that gives him 2 points, and that is it. There are other difficulties. There's a challenging difficulty and an expert difficulty, and there's also an advanced setup. And so I might play another game to show you at least the advanced setup. I don't know if I'll do it on moderate, which was this, or if I'll do it on one of the higher difficulties, but I'd like to show you the advanced setup. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and then hit the notification bell so you'll know whenever I put up any future videos, like if I put up the next playthrough of Lockup, a Role Player Tale. And until then, thank you for watching and have a great day.